does run through Wix can do that as well.
Okay. Thank you so much. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. And also I can put our email in the chat if
Okay,
you have any
sure.
questions. You can reach all of us through this email.
Okay. So we have some people here. We have Titi Layo, we have Ndidi Amaka, we have Tarinimi, Abel Idoko, Nelly, and Dr. Ifoma. So thank God we don't have a very large class. So right now you're free to unmute your mic and ask any question whatsoever, because we're talking to experts right now. So you can get your questions answered, because this training is not going to stay too long. It's supposed to be a 1-hour training. If you have a question, please unmute your mic. Okay, so meanwhile, I had a question. I wanted to find out, Himani, if okay, if I decide to learn coding at my age, how long do you think it's going to take me to learn how to code to the extent of building my own website?
Well, honestly, I would say it depends on how much time you want to put in like per day. But if you're like just looking through W3 schools, the good thing about building a website, as I talked about before with HTML, is that it's very beginner friendly, so it's very easy. And I'm sure like as you saw kind of, I don't know if I still have, okay, I think I deleted that tab, but HTML syntax is very easy, and once you get used to it, it's not super complicated. So honestly, it could take you anywhere from also depends on like the website that you want to build. If it's something simple, it could easily take you like, or you could easily do one in like 3 to 5 days if you spend like around like 5 to 8 hours or so each day or something working on it. But also like if you want to add like trans animations or things like that, or have multiple different, like for example, multiple different tabs that you can go to, it'll take a little bit longer.
Okay, so also I wanted to find out if I'm building a website with maybe HTML, is it going to be a website that has a lot of colors, pictures, or it's just going to be like a text-based website if I'm using HTML?
I can show you, for example, for school, we're all required to take like a introductory computer science classes, and half of the course is about like web development. And because it's a web development course, they want us to actually learn the fundamentals of coding and not just use websites like Wix. So for example, I can show you what I did. This is like this was like a sample website that I made that you can like order food off of. So like as you can kind of see, you can have like pictures and stuff. This is all built using HTML.
Wow. Okay, another question to find out. If maybe you have a website like that you need to have users, maybe users have to create their own profiles. Can you use this method? Like, Facebook, LinkedIn, people that use those websites get to create their own profiles. So can you use this simple website to create such websites?
The problem with that would be that you can't necessarily use like the same websites, because you have to use like other languages. For example, you can't necessarily use HTML because HTML is only used for front end development. But as Samantha talked about earlier, you have to use other languages such as Java, SQL, Python, or PHP to handle the backend development. For example, like if you want users to like do like if you pick one button, then you would have to like use Python to do like if statements and like those kind of things. Like if they pick one button, they do one thing. And then for like storing responses, like what you said, we have to use SQL or
All right.
SQL. That's like a database kind of language.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it
So that means
Yeah, so
you cannot cut corners. If you want to create a very elaborate website, you actually need a web developer, right?
yeah, creating like something like this is very simple because like I didn't actually like once you submit the form, like for example, I can just do it really quickly. But like uh just put in random numbers.
Okay, this website is for someone that wants to create okay, place an order, right?
Yeah, but like if you look at this, like it says thank you, but like nothing actually happens because there's nothing on the back end for this website. It's only front
Oh.
end.
Okay,
So that's why
how about the Wix website? That question is to Yiko. The Wix website, can users create profiles on your Wix website?
Yeah, so basically on Wix, there's many different things you can do within the website. You can like change things, right? So you can add a thing that's like, oh, I want people to be able to sign into this website. Wix will handle all the backend stuff for you. So you can make things like a profile and you don't have to worry about people's personal information. It's all done for you. It's very nice, actually.
That's amazing. Okay, so like how many profiles can you create on a Wix website?
I'm not actually sure because I haven't done it. I'm sure when it's free, there is some kind of limit, most likely,
Okay.
because there are paid plans to add more features and such.
I have used Wix before. I think to the amount of websites, I'm not sure, but I know you can do a couple, like at least like five or so. But like also since it's free, you can just create a new account. But the main
Oh,
problem
yeah.
with Wix is that like if you want users in that, you or like you said, like if you want to build a site like Facebook or Instagram where people have their own accounts and stuff, you have
Yes.
to set up like payment plans for it to like actually do the back end stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I actually have a website like that.
Oh,
The website is, let me type it in. It's www.lessonpaddy.com. Okay. So I actually got somebody to create that website for me. And I got stuck at a point because I was like, okay, can I have access to the website so that I can see the people that come in and all that? So I don't know, I had this funny, I'm sorry to say, I don't know if he's online, but I had this, the website developer was not doing what I wanted. Like he kept creating bottlenecks, like I can't have access to my own website and my own idea. So I don't know, how can we solve that kind of problem? What's your suggestion? Because if you look
Right.
at the website, you will notice that there are a lot of things I don't want to be on that website. Like I would have preferred some things to be in alphabetical order, organized, reduce the amount of forms the users have to fill and all that. So trying to see how I could change that was difficult. The web developer said, I don't have access to that. So I have to wait for him. When he's free, that's when he gets to make those corrections. So what's your suggestion on that?
I think the only way you can really change it is by going through the actual code because it's going to be very hard to do it like because if he or if whoever the web developer did it from scratch, I'm sure like
He did.
yeah, then the code is probably in a way that like is most convenient to him. So it'll first like be a little bit difficult to understand that because everyone's like code writing is like a little bit different. So you'll have to first understand that and then like kind of go through the code manually if he did give it to you. And then you'd have to fix those things by yourself. But I don't really know unless like you, Cole or Samantha, you guys have other ideas.
I mean, I think there are these things called wireframes. So you could probably, if you when you're working with a web developer, you can create these wireframes, which are basically like sort of outline where things are on the website, what the structure is of the website, and you can sort of notate anything that you would like on there. I can, if Himani, you could like search up like a picture of like a wireframe to just give an idea, but those might be something that you might want to share with like a web developer when they're creating a applications, that way you are more clear with your communication with your web developer, so you can get more things done faster. Yeah, so that might be a place to look.
Okay, so what you're saying is that we can work with the wireframe, right? So he can use that to communicate with me, right?
Yeah, a wireframe is basically tells him what structure you want, how you want it to look, what are some things you want specifically. So let's say you want your carousel, or like say you want images, a carousel of images in this specific part of a website. You can tell the web developer by blocking out a part. So like each of the boxes in this wireframe image are sort of where specific things are supposed to go. So that way you can sort of have control over your own layout of your own website. So that way he will sort of know what you're going for, if that makes sense.
Okay, so the wireframe, if I understand you clearly, is it an application that we will both share through my website? Is that what you're saying?
No,
it's kind of just application.
Yeah, it's just basically a diagram. It's a map, so it's not actually something that it'll be on like your website. It's just a map of your website. So when you share this with your web developer, they'll understand what to build when they're coding.
All right. That would be nice. Do you have like an example to show us? Maybe a very simple example of what it looks like.
Yeah, I mean, I think there are wireframe makers online that you can look at if you want. So like the image that Himani is showing here. So you can sort of see boxes where you want things to be placed. And this is sort of how a wireframe looks.
All right. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, I think that's better. It's better. So please, do we have any other questions? Any other person? Because we're going to call it a day. Okay, yeah. Somebody's hand is raised here. Abel Idoko. Please, can you unmute your mic and ask your question?
Hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone.
Hi.
Firstly, I want to appreciate the organizer of this training. You know, this is an opportunity I've been looking for so long. I thank God when I saw it on the platform, there will be a training of website development training. I was so excited, and I'm happy to be part of this great family. First of all, I would like to ask about I want to start a career. I'm 35 plus right now. I really want to start a career in terms of web development training, and I don't know how to start. But this training have opened a little eye opener to me, and I so much appreciate the organizer. And I would like to ask question: how do I start a career here? On my laptop right now, I have opened HTML tutorial. I can see CSS, JavaScript, SQL, Python, Java, PHP, and certification. A lot of them, how do I start this training? And like, am I the one that will just go through it? I'll follow it, then I'll start the training. And how much is it going to cost me? And other Java tutorial also. So I'd love to know more, please.
Okay.
They're all completely free. So you can, it's just as much time as you put in, that's how much you'll get out of it. But it's all free.
Sorry, can you repeat what you said?
Yeah, I was just saying it's completely free. So it's just like how much you put in is how much you'll get out, but there's nothing that you need to pay for it. And you can just kind of start off with like the basics of HTML if you're looking for web development.
You mean it's
like
free?
if you're looking,
Yeah. It's zero.
It's like if you're looking for like more instruction and stuff, there are online courses as well if you're more like you need someone to guide you. But a lot of this is stuff that like you could eventually learn on your own. There's also probably courses on YouTube that because YouTube is free, you could also get more instruction from there. So there's a lot of online things you can do that are free, so you don't have to pay.
Yeah, so basically, if you go on YouTube and you search up HTML web development beginner course, there's a bunch of videos that will pop up, and you'll be able to work through those videos. For example, if I want, after I learn HTML, I want to learn like some backend language, like for example, Java or SQL, something like that. You can search up that as well. Or let's say you want to build like a very basic website, how to build a basic website course, beginner course. On YouTube, a lot of things will show up. This is a really great thing about YouTube. There are a lot of courses, especially for technology and how to build websites, machine learning, AI. A lot of it's on there on YouTube.
That's right. In addition to what they said, Abel, what they're trying to say is like it's like learning a subject or a language, mathematics. Okay, so it's good to go to school to learn those things, but it's better to start from the basics, practicing on your own, which is why they referred us to that website, which is W3 Schools. Okay, so W3 Schools, you can start to learn it gradually on your own, so that even when you go and pay to learn, you're not like a complete novice. Okay, saving yourself more time and more money, saving yourself time and money. Okay, so if you go to We3 Schools, you start practicing. You could even have your own project. You could have a website that you can start working with, practicing with. Okay, so once you do that, what they're trying to say is there are so many free resources online to learn it. But I know that somehow you always want to pay so that you take it serious. Okay, so before you do that, you can go to We3 Schools. You could use YouTube to learn those languages online also. Then I don't know what state you are. What state are you, please? Are you in River State?
No, presently I'm in Kogi State.
Okay, you're in Kogi State. Okay, so that means you have to make inquiry on where schools where you can learn that online. Here in River State, one very popular one is NIIT. NIIT. So there you learn everything and you get your certificate, your diploma, and even a degree in software engineering. So I believe in every state there's somewhere like that you can learn something like that. But before you even join those, because they're always expensive, I won't lie. They're always expensive.
Yes.
Yes, like the full program in Port Harcourt is about 2.5 million for 2 years. It's not too expensive, but you understand. So the best thing is start practicing, trying your hands on these free resources and take it seriously. Task yourself and you'll have a good result.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you,
Abel. Welcome. Please, I want someone to say something before we call it a day. Nelly, do you have something to say on what you learned? Engineer Titi Layo, Engineer Nelly, Nodi Joy, Ndidiamaka, please, if you have something to say quickly before we call it a day.
I think I just want to say thank you to our resource person and thank you to Engineer Jiro. I learned something, but like the other speaker said, I think one has to add more. I was just listening. I think I just told myself I'll go to YouTube and then try the more I can. I also know of NIIT.
Yeah.
But I think I really want to. So I will try with what she has told us, all the websites. I'll just try my hands on something. Yeah. I really appreciate.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you, Engineer Nelly. There are also cheaper schools in Port Harcourt. There are actually cheaper schools. There are schools that you can spend maybe 75,000, 100,000 to at least get.
Where?
Yeah, there are so I can
Which?
get some. I can make inquiry on that.
Okay,
I can
if
make
you
inquiry on
can,
that.
but I know it's NIT, yeah.
Yeah, NIT is
All right.
popular. Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Please, Nodi was raising her hand. Can you ask your question? Is she still here? Join Nodi, please unmute your mic.
Good afternoon. No.
Good afternoon.
Hello.
I
I
can
want
hear
to
you.
thank the organizers the organizers of this program. I actually joined late, but the little time I spent here, I think I was able to grab one or two things. The only thing I want to add that for someone to start web development, you can try out with Google sites. There are some resources you can get that from there. Google site, you can use it to start practicing how to those ones you'll be doing it as if you're on a Windows environment. You don't need much code. You can import as if you are designing on Microsoft Word. Google sites, I've used it before, but that one is not for professionals anyway, just for beginners. Yes, so that's just my own contribution. Thank you for this for the organization. It's really worth it. I know I have learned one or two things. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Joy. You're very correct. She's right about Google Sites. The only issue I have with Google Sites is that when you want to share your website address, you have a very long link where they write Google and all that. So it like makes your site look funny. So I actually,
That's funny.
you understand?
Just funny.
So that's it's good for beginners, but just that I don't like when someone is visiting my website, you see google.google.google. And all that before you see on. Okay.
Yeah, it's
Does any other person have a contribution before we call it a day? Okay. In the absence of any other contribution, I want to do our Thanksgiving. I want to say thank you to Samantha. Samantha, thank you for the introduction and how the guidelines on all we're supposed to know about website development. We talked about programming, talked about project management, and some other guidelines that we need to have a full web development experience. Then Himani talked about HTML, and she delved a little bit into HTML language. Then Nicole talked to us about Wix. And actually, I have Wix websites. I have like 3 Wix websites, but I didn't know that Wix had AI in it. So that's a very good one. And I want to say thank you for taking your time across, will I say, kilometers apart, hours away from us to impact knowledge. And you're welcome to come at any time. In fact, we indulge you to come and teach us anytime we call on you, please. We have so many kids, just that they're on holiday now, okay? So we have kids, we have adults, we have teachers, people that want to learn. So we are so grateful that you're able to come and give us this knowledge.
Yeah, thank you so much to everyone for attending our course today.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
So
And
much.
if you
Can
have like
unmute
any
your mic and
questions,
send your love to them.
Thank you, Samantha.
thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Thank you.
God
Thank
bless
you. We
you.
appreciate. Thank you so
We
much.
appreciate you.
yeah, if
Yeah,
you have any
thank you.
questions, we have our email in the chat. Himani just put it in. So if you still have
Thank
any
you
questions
very
on how to
much.
get started, we can always send a few resources over and give you a quick like game plan for how to get started. So
Oh,
Okay, before you
Thank
go, I
you.
just wanted to ask, are you going to be at the SWE conference?
No, we won't.
Oh, but it's happening in Chicago now, and it's just 3 days.
I don't think so because I think I have something else during that day, but I did get the invite. But
Oh, okay. Okay, because if you were there, you'd have met some of our engineers from Port Harcourt.
mhm.
But
I
since
think
you're
the
not, Hmm?
I think the other thing is that's only for like SWE professionals. So it's like
No,
it's
it's
not
not.
for-
It's not. It's not. Because when I attended it last year, I saw a lot of students. A lot. In fact, it was free entry. Like you could just
Oh,
visit and you might be let in. Okay. That'll be all for now. Thank you so much. Feel free to,
Hello.
yeah.
Feedback. Hey, like master.
Okay.
thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you, my boss. Bye-bye.
Bye. Engineer Nelly. See you later.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, God bless.
Thank you, ma. Thank you. God bless you, ma.
Bye. Thank you, Abel.